What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the Paragon Gauntlet, all those 6 bosses, what nodes they have, what you need to be careful of, and best teams to bring. So this first guy is Craven. So this is, by the way, the Thronebreaker event quest, but in the Paragon difficulty, it is the exact same nodes and the exact same attack and health. So this guy, the things you have to be careful of. When you get to a special 2, he gains a bar of power over 4 seconds. So this could be kind of good and kind of bad, because if, let's say, Craven is at a bar of power and you get pushed up to special 2, he's gonna gain power gain for his special 2, which is the special you want to bait for Craven. You don't want to bait the special 1 because he actually was gonna place a trap, and even if you like touch the trap to like bait it out, you're special locked, so you can't really escape the route for 2 seconds. And this is pretty sketchy because, you know, special locked against Craven, you're just stuck there. And then there's also the compelled duel, where you ideally want to bait specials from like a distance, because again, you can get rooted, and this is gonna be a special lock route, and it's kind of tough. Like, you could use someone like Gallon, where he's actually like special lock immune. I think he's the only champion that has special lock immune, so this could definitely be a good option for him. But overall, he's not that bad. Like, try and bait his special lock 2s. The Feat of Energy should help you. There might be some scenarios where you just forget. He gains power gain, and then he might get to special 3. So, yeah. And also, he's immune to forms of power manipulation, so you can't even power drain. So, try and utilize this Feat of Energy node to just push him to special 2. Next up, we have Thing. So, Thing is the second boss. He has Foresight, which is a really nice node. You intercept, you get double the attack, which is great. He has Adaptive, which doesn't really matter too much. You can't really nullify those, so he might be a little tankier, but Foresight does help a lot. Then he's got Rush Jump. So basically, I think this is a new node. So you start with 3 of those charges, and whenever you block a medium dash attack from the opponent, or you take a hit by it, 1 charge is going to get removed. So if all those 3 charges are removed, you are stunned for 3 seconds, and this is a stun passive, so you can't even shrug it off. But you can regain 1 of those charges back when you knock down the defender. So let's say you want to like parry to get an opening, and he dashes from a distance. He's gonna lose 1 charge, but then if you knock him down by either a special or like a heavy attack, he's gonna get that rush down charge again. So, you know, ideally knock him down if the charges like start to fall off quite fast. Like, if, let's say you have only 1, you definitely want to start knocking him down, even like after his specials, or, you know, by parrying. So, you know, as long as you keep knocking him down, if he does too many dashes, you're not gonna have a problem. Now, next up, Ticking Time Bomb. Whenever the attacker performs a well-timed block, they gain a fuse charge. Strike the defender's block removes 1, and when the attacker reaches 5, they're all consumed, and the attacker takes a burst of attack damage, dealing of 25% of their max health. So 25% of your max health isn't that bad. But yeah, you can easily avoid this. You know, if you do 5 parries, you're gonna take the damage, but you can just you know hit the opponent a little bit in the block, which actually happens for Thing most of the times, because you want to hit him over like 15, not over, but to get him to use 15 rock stacks. So it's probably gonna happen naturally, where you're just gonna remove the ticking time bomb charges, the fuse charges, so not too bad. And also, if you want to use someone like Falcon or Crossbones or Black Cat, make sure to heavy attack him, because that disables his defensive ability accuracy reduction. So you definitely want to bring, you know, your Falcons, your Black Cats, your Crossbones, and this fight should be very easy as long as you heavy. Then, you know, you want to lock on with Falcon or start building up the Furies from Crossbones, and then Foresight is just there to like boost your damage quite a bit. Next up, we have this ManThing. So this ManThing is a little bit trickier. He's got power stack, so basically, if you trigger a buff, he's gonna nullify that, and he's gonna gain 50% of a bar of power. So this could be a little bit tricky with ManThing. You know, he's kind of a chunky boy, and he can get to special 3s. Luckily, they don't have Mystic Dispersion in the fan quest, so that's pretty nice. And then when you knock him down, the potency of full damage debuffs is reduced by 90%. So basically, you know, if you bring someone that does like a lot of poison damage, like Diablo or something, you know, if you knock him down too much, the poison damage is not going to be too much. However, you can bring someone like Scorpion, where he's actually poison immune, and most of your damage comes from his debuffs, but it's not from the damage that the debuffs do. You basically want to stack the debuffs and, you know, deal the burst from a special 2, and also the stink burst from when the opponent pops a special. Now, he also has Counter Strike, which doesn't really matter too much. You basically, if you dex, you gain those charges. And if you get 5, the defender is going to get unblockable for 9 seconds. So keep in mind, 5 charges are going to give him unblockable. But you can keep like having 4 on you, because every single one of that gives you 15% attack, which is really nice. And the last thing is basically, if he goes for heavy attack, the duration of the unstoppable is going to be a little bit longer, so you're not going to be able to all go in after his heavy attack if you don't have a way to counter his unstoppable. So ideally you want to bring someone that's poison immune or buff immune, because if you're buff immune, he's not going to poison you ever. You know, Titania is pretty great, Cassie is amazing, she's even poison immune too. She has the power sync, which, you know, again, the damage comes from debuffs, but it's power sync, so it's not actually damaging debuff, you know. So ManThing isn't too bad. Next up, we got probably the easiest fight for the Gauntlet. This is Beast. Beast is a very easy defender, and he doesn't even have too crazy of nodes. You know, he's got 10% crit resist, which is pretty much nothing. And if you knock him down, he's gonna gain like a 75% combat power rate increase, which, you know, doesn't matter too much. You can evade both his special 1s, special 2s by outranging them. The thing you don't want to bring against Beast though is someone that relies on debuffs. Like, let's say if you bring your Scorpion from the previous fights, you don't really want to use Scorpion for this fight, because whenever you knock the opponent down, they just go debuff immune, so you're not gonna have any damage. It's only your basic attacks, so, you know, don't bring anyone that has debuffs for this guy. But you can actually utilize you get the Hordes node, where basically if you intercept or interrupt the opponent's heavy, you gain an indefinite passive fury, increase your attack by 50%. And if you reach 5, that increases the opponent's attack. But if you reach 5, you actually gain a fury, increasing your attack by 200%. So basically, if you want to speed up the fight, you want to interrupt the opponent's heavy or intercept them 5 times, and then you gain a 200% passive fury. So basically, you know, it's like you're having foresight for 10 seconds. So this could definitely, you know, boost up the fight. I remember I used my ghost for this guy, and 1 special 2 is all it took to kill him. And make sure when you go for like a big special attack, you knock him down because of the Fluxus special. But this is probably the easiest fight of the Gauntlet. Now for Werewolf by Night, I actually have a dedicated video for this guy, for Thronebreaker, if you guys want to check out, you know, all of his abilities and how he works. But here we're going to talk about his nodes. So there's actually this first node, which actually helps you decrease his regeneration if he gets it, which he probably will. And he actually has 80% energy resistance. So if you go for someone like Torch, don't expect it to be like super fast, because 80% resistance is kind of a lot, even though you're gonna have the pre-fight. Most of your damage is gonna come from your power stings, so he's gonna be a little bit tanky. Now the special burst, lockdown, and blood in water actually kind of work together. So when he pops a special, you're gonna get inflicted with a heal block and an armor break, and blood in water triggers there where you have debuffs on you, and he gains a 200% passive fury. So this actually is kind of rough, because he can apply ruptures through your block with his first medium and his 4th light attack, and there's a 30% chance if he pops a special 1 to apply ruptures, and those ruptures are actually pretty strong, especially, you know, if the defender has lots of attack, like 10,000. And yeah, the special 1 dex, you can see it on my other video, the dedicated one for this guy. He actually like does a quick dash, where if you finish your combo with a 5-hit combo and he throws it immediately, you don't have, you know, a chance to evade. It's some of those specials that, you know, you do a 5-hit combo and you dex, he's actually gonna clip you no matter what. But if you evade this part, he actually does like a dash, a quick dash, he runs at you, and that's when you want to dex. But if you don't really want to, you know, deal with the special 1, the special 2 is a lot easier to like fully dex. You can just outrange it. And keep in mind though, it's gonna get a little bit hard, because he actually gains minus 30% combat power rate, so it's gonna be a little bit harder to push him over the special 2, so you might need to take some block damage. So I think this guy, you know, the best counters for this guy are probably champions with slow. Now he gains a passive unstoppable, but keep in mind, if you have a slow, you know, you're gonna ignore the unstoppable. But ebb and flow heavy, actually, when it comes back, when you knock down the opponent, you have 12 seconds of damage basically with another cruelty passive, which gives you which gives you some more crit damage. But when this actually comes back, the shield comes back, he purifies every single debuff. So your slow is actually gonna go away. Now, unless you have someone like Danny where she has passive slow, you don't really care about this. But yeah, just a thing to keep in mind, because this guy is actually kind of tricky. And since this actually is a longer fight, you want to have someone with slow, so that you don't have to deal with his unstoppable, because he's probably gonna get to the unstoppable, and that's where he gets his regen and all that stuff. So for this guy, I would probably use a Scorpion. It's like one of the safest options. You can just, you know, go for the rupture immunity. You can just block forever. He's not gonna have any ruptures on you, and when he doesn't inflict ruptures on you, he actually gains his charges half as fast. So this is pretty great. You actually might not see an unstoppable if you're actually fully rupture immune, because he's gonna get his charges one by one instead of two. And some of the good champions for Werewolf are like Silk, where you have like the easiest, you know, ebb and flow heavy knockdown. You can just, you know, do a 4-hit combo into him heavy and just knock him down. Keep in mind though, the debuffs are gonna get purified, so you want to do your rotation with Silk really fast. You can also use Wasp if you can't really, you know, parry this guy, and it has a very easy knockdown as well. But moving on to the final boss, this is Morbius. So Morbius, his nodes are actually not that difficult. They kind of help you if you bring the right counters. So if you parry, you're gonna get a disorient on you, which kind of hurts, you know, a little bit. It's only 15% though. But here, if you actually debuff or damaging debuff this guy, if you put some damage debuffs on him, you're gonna get power lock. So you don't really want to do that. And then this is the tactical retreat node. So basically, every 15 seconds, there's gonna be a timer for 3 seconds. When that timer comes, you have 2 seconds you have 3 seconds to dex. If you don't dex, you're gonna get stunned. But this actually is a stun debuff, so if you do something wrong, there is a chance to shrug it off. If you have someone like Kingpin or Crossbones, which in this fight you want to use Kingpin or Crossbones because they actually shrug off debuffs and they become stronger, or Moondragon, because of the triple threat node. There is a 50% chance that you get applied with a random debuff like Intimidate, Cold Snap, or Bleed, and basically those are gonna stack forever. And then you got the Calcify node as well, where whenever he throws a special, you get a Petrify. So you can just, you know, this stacks as well, so you can remove it as well. And the only thing to worry about Morbius is pretty much his glide attack, where his first medium dash is going to be, you know, can't miss and unblockable. So think of it like a, you know, unblockable Kitty Pryde, where you just got the phase, and then there's a cooldown, and it's also unblockable, so you don't want to parry. So there's a cooldown, and then yeah, you can just hit him. I think there's a 10-second cooldown, so you have to bait it out again. So yeah, man, that's not too bad for the Paragon Gauntlet. I'm actually gonna do it on stream pretty soon, and my team is probably gonna involve Scorpion, because Scorpion actually does Morbius. He does Werewolf really well, because you can go just Rupture Immune. You might be able to like steal some of his healing as well with your specials to Petrify, because he heals. So you're gonna steal that healing as well if the fight lasts long enough. And Scorpion also has a synergy with Toad, I believe, where on his save attack you can apply a slow debuff for 10 seconds. And this actually could be really nice, you know, if I want to bring Toad for like the last choice node, where you just swap a champion that you don't really want to use, and you can just go for Scorpion just in case, for Toad just in case you want to get that as well. And then I would definitely bring my Kingpin. Kingpin is going to be really great for, you know, Morbius is really amazing. You can use him for even ManThing, where he applies, you know, those poisons on you, those armor breaks, so you can get those overpowers. But at the most part, I'm going to use him for probably Morbius, because he just cheese him really well with your overpowers. You're going to get like 3 overpowers with the amount of debuffs you get. He's going to stack on you. And then my third might be Kitty Pryde. Like I'm definitely going to start with Kitty Pryde to actually handle Craven really well, to make sure I push him over, you know, the special 2s, bait him out, and then try and kill him with like a special 1 and a special 2. So I'm probably gonna start with Kitty Pryde, and then I think I'm gonna put Falcon in my deck or in my team to actually handle this thing and just, you know, heavy him and then decrease his ability. Actually do a couple of inches with Foresight. He should die really fast. And then my third guy is probably gonna be someone that's buff immune, so I can handle ManThing. It's probably gonna be like a Cassie, and then I could swap my Falcon for like a Ghost, so I can handle Beast really well, and then maybe swap maybe Kitty Pryde or Cassie for Kingpin for the rest. So my final team is gonna be Scorpion, Kingpin, and probably Kitty Pryde or Ghost. So yeah, man, this gauntlet honestly seems probably easier than the previous one. This one probably has like harder last bosses, like Werewolf can actually clip you and he can mess you up with his animations, and he is unstoppable if you don't know what you're doing. And Morbius can definitely catch you with his medium dash, because it actually seems like it reaches more than it's supposed to. But you know, it shouldn't be that bad. But yeah, guys, I really hope this video helped you. I'm going to be doing my run fairly soon. I'm actually in the middle of exploring my Thronebreaker difficulty, so I'm probably going to do the Thronebreaker Gauntlet, sorry, the Paragon Gauntlet on stream pretty soon, probably next week. But yeah, guys, I really hope this video helped you, and if you did, let's give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.